so high with no edibles. You ask how does it feel? It's incredible. And now I'm standing on my pedestal. Y'all got no morals, y'all unethical. I'm so high with no edibles. You ask how does it feel? It's incredible. And now I'm standing on my pedestal. Y'all got no morals, y'all unethical. I got a baby face, call it.
What's going on, y'all? This is Terrance, and welcome you to another edition of Terrance Hill TV, presented to you by WTV over the digital airways of YouTube. Today, I'm here to give my reaction to Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg's album, Missionary. I sat on the album for a week before I gave a review, and I just wanted to give it multiple listens. I think I've listened to the album probably 10 times by now, so I definitely can give a fair assessment of the project. Before I get into the review of the album, please hit that like and subscribe button. Also hit that notification bell as well to be notified whenever new content is uploaded, and share this content, and also check out the community section as well. Definitely appreciate everyone's input and opinions. And someone had dropped a comment about what is the song? One of the songs on here. I think it was "Thank You," and there was the line when Snoop said "Things just ain't the same for gangsters," and I was like, oh yeah, they kind of went back to the Eminem line that he wrote on The Watcher, and someone had put in the comments that Snoop wrote that, but no, actually Eminem wrote The Watcher. And that may be shocking for some people, but M does write, music for Dre, as far as lyrics and stuff, from time to time. He's not the only writer, but he is one of the people that knows Dre's cadence, is a good friend, been around him, they have a working relationship and a friendship, so he knows how to capture the spirit of Dre. But Eminem wrote The Watcher. All right, so let's get into the review of Missionary. I guess, technically, I would consider this a sequel. You had Doggystyle, now you have Missionary. And in my personal opinion, because I do not like some of the podcasters, or some of the reviews I've been hearing from people. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, but I'm just saying, I just think that we've gotten in an age now where we're so quick to like dump on music. And this is, I don't think it's counterproductive, because if you have people that really take their time, put 2 years into a project to really fine tune it, to make sure every syllable and every lyric and every nuance and is mixed and mastered and engineered with a fine tooth comb. They shot a short film. You've been seeing the different commercials that they shot with Sammy Davis Jr. and who was that? Frank Sinatra through AI, and just everything that they've done on a marketing standpoint. Snoop's been on a lot of podcasts lately, going out promoting the project. You have this effort going into it, and how can people just dump on the music after maybe 1 or 2 listens? You have to look at it in the context of who they are now. Snoop is 50, I think 53 years old. He's a grandfather. He has 12 grandkids. And he cooks with Martha Stewart, and he's an icon. He's doing a lot. He's on The Voice. He's on almost every commercial that you can think of. He's arguably the most famous rapper that we have. Everybody knows who Snoop Dogg is. You can't expect these guys, and they've grown as people. They're not, Snoop is not 19 years old anymore, with his experiences in Long Beach at that time. He's a grown man. He's an icon and a mogul now. Now, that still doesn't mean that they don't have the obligation to make good music, but we should allow growth for people. We can't keep trying to hold Nas to Illmatic and holding people to, arguably their best work, and just, no matter what they do, we're just going to go back to Illmatic or go back to, whatever, Get Rich or Die Trying or the Marshall Mathers LP or whatever. Like, let these people grow artistically and take risks. And I think Snoop has done that perfectly with throughout his career. I mean, you got the Snoop Lion, which I thought was a good effort. You know, you had the Snoop Lion project, and I'm a Snoop fan. You know, I actually have Snoop in my top five. You know, as far as just not only lyricist, but I'm just talking about just as an artist. Like he is, you know, like he does a lot of great things. He's made a lot of great projects. I mean, I don't even, you know, like when you start talking to people and like, you know, for example, I'm a huge Prince fan. This guy right here, I'm a huge Prince fan. So the minute, you know, someone just talks about Purple Rain, I almost kind of write them off because it's like, the man has like 39 albums. Like he has a lot of great, greater projects, a lot of great projects besides Purple Rain. So I don't, sometimes I just kind of tune out people that just can't look beyond someone's manifesto and appreciate their growth and their artistry over the years. I mean, hell, a lot of the songs that people love throughout the, you know, 80s and 90s, you know, that wasn't Prince songs came from his pen. I mean, so we have to appreciate the artistic development that people have. But I'm just, you know, just saying, you know, you can look at Rhythm and Gangster, you know, the Blue Carpet Treatment. You could look at I think The Last Meal is a great album. Top, you know, No Limit Top Dog, I thought was a solid effort. The Game Is to Be Sold, Not Told. I love that album. What's the other one? The one with Pharrell. What was it? Make sure I'm naming that album correctly. Let's see here. All right, so we got The Game Is to Be Sold, Not Told. Then you got Paid the Cost to Be the Boss. You know, I thought that was a good album. Um and you can just go on and on. I mean, Snoop has a good discography, man. I mean, Ego Trippin', um, Bush with Pharrell. I thought Bush was a great project. You know, I don't think Kool-Aid and Never Left get enough credit, but no, Snoop has put out a tremendous body of work over the years. His discography is crazy. I thought the Mount Westmore project was really good with him, Ice Cube, E40, and Too Short. And you know, Snoop has become a great A&R as well. I mean, the Algorithm album that he did with Def Jam. You know, he has an ear for talent, man. You got October London and the East Siders and Doggy's Angels, Latoya Williams. I really had a lot of love for you know, Joel, who was on Death Row and did a lot of you know, background singing and stuff on a lot of the classic Snoop and Dre songs and stuff. So you know, Snoop is great, man. But you know, but let's get into the album. So you know, we start off with Foreplay, which I think is a great title. It's fitting for what the you know, album is talking about, and that's a stylistic sample. So you know, I got to give Dre a lot of credit. I thought the production on here was really really good. Then we get into Shangri-La, Shangri-La, which I think is a incredible way to open up the project. You know, then Out of the Blue, which is samples from the MIA track. I like the way they flipped it. I really like the way they flipped it. If you saw some of the promos for the short film that they did, the way they incorporated that particular song into it, the visuals on it was crazy, you know. So I mean, that's all Dre. You know, Dre wrote that short film, so you got to give Dre his props for, you know, what he does, you know, as as a creator. And then we look at Hard Knocks, you know, which has the, you know, the kid singing on there. As far as the hook goes, I thought it was fire. You know, Hard Knocks is a great song. It's a Pink Floyd sample, and a friend of mine pointed that out to me when it originally had dropped. But yeah, I thought that's a you know, a great song. You know, Gorgeous was one of the singles that they put out. Now, I love Gorgeous. I think Gorgeous is a great record. Personally, though, I don't think I would have put that out as like the first single, but I do think it's a great song, and I think it fits within the theme of the album very well. But I just think for the what was built up for what this project was gonna be, that probably should not have been the first song put out. That could have probably should have been one of the last songs that was put out, opposed to the first, in my personal opinion. I would say, for who Snoop is as a weed smoker and a 420 guy, maybe The Last Dance with Mary Jane or Thank You probably should have been the first single. I know some people, I've heard some of the comments about the whole Tom Petty and Jelly Roll thing, but I don't have a problem with that. Like I say, these guys are who they are, and I have no problem when artists want to work with legends. Snoop has worked with Stevie Wonder and you name it. You name it. He's done music with Sheila E. and Morris Day. So this is not new for him to do songs with legends. So I mean, obviously Tom Petty is no longer here, and in that, I think it was the Defiant Ones. In the outtakes, you had Tom Petty talking about that the last dance with Mary Jane, you know, the last dance with Mary Jane when Dr. Dre does it, he's gonna have an immediate hit on his hands, and the family gave Dre the vocals and the files and stuff. So this is one of the best beats on here, in my personal opinion. I thought Jelly Roll killed it, and the original song is great. I think it's a hit. The beat is really really done well. So I like this song. And then we go to Thank You, which is I love Thank You. Sly and the Family Stone. I think it encaptures the spirit who Snoop is. They debuted that song on Drink Champs. I love it. Pressure. Then we get to Pressure, which is another great record. This one is sampled by I believe it's by the Mohawks. But yeah, it's another good song in my personal opinion. And I thought the beat on there was fire. And salute to Khan. I used to do a podcast with a friend of mine, and we've covered guys like Khan, and we covered a lot of artists that people don't talk about. So Khan was one of those people that we used to talk about on that previous podcast called the Sleeping Giants on WTV on YouTube. You had Khan, you had quite a few artists that we used to cover. But salute to Khan. I definitely see him in the studio with Dre. I know he um, can contributes as a writer. And I remember when Dre did the interview with LL Cool J, he's been talking about Khan for a long time. So salute to Khan for his contributions and making the album. So salute to him. Then we get to Another Part of Me with Sting. I thought Sting killed it. The sample was incredible. And not only salute to Dre, but salute to the ICU. I mean, them joints, Fred Wreck. If you looked at some of the videos with them in the studio, you see the way that Coco helps with the vocal coaching and vocal producing. Um, I think this is an incredible song, and just to hear Sting, do his thing on it was incredible. Okay, now we get to like the highlights of the real highlights of the album for me. Some of my favorites, man. Like Skyscrapers, that joint is crazy, man. Like the just who's the sample by? 10 Wheel Drive. Okay. Yeah, I thought Dre went crazy on the production on this song, man. I mean, this is fire. Like Skyscrapers and Method Man went crazy. I thought Smitty, I think Smitty is another guy that on my previous podcast that we used to talk about, but salute to Smitty. But Method Man went crazy on here. I thought Snoop's verse was crazy. That song is a banger, man. To my young black entrepreneurs, get paper, skyscrapers, fire, man, fire. And no pun intended, because the next song is fire, featuring Coco. Uh, this is probably my second favorite song off the album, definitely in the top three. This song is crazy. I love it, man. It kind of get that Snoop Lion flow, but the way Snoop is rapping on here is at an elite level. And and people talk about, some people, I've heard some people say, well, Snoop was rapping at a high level, but they wasn't feeling some of the production. But here's the thing: if you say that Snoop is rapping at a high level, you have to credit Dr. Dre for that, because Dr. Dre is the one in there that is coaching him to do the vocals and coaching the takes and having him do one word 40 times and having him do stacks and harmonies and ad libs and things of that nature. Like, all that is Dr. Dre. So you see those videos, go to Complex, look at that little 14-minute interview where the young lady is interviewing Dr. Dre and Snoop. You see Snoop in the booth doing takes over and over and over again. That is Dre. That's producing. Producing is not just someone that's making beats. And that's where a lot of the confusion has come over the years. People think because they make a beat and sell a beat that they are a producer. No, you are a beat maker. Producing is not just coming up with the beats, but it's the actual performance on the song and the arrangement and the writing and what goes here and how the cadence is going and things of that nature. That is actually producing. And Dr. Dre always brings out the best in Snoop. I think him and Pharrell are the ones that really, Pharrell does it from a different angle, because Snoop is not really rapping much at all on there. It's more of an R&B album. But Shorty Red with sensual seduction. I thought, what I forgot the guy's name that produced a lot of the stuff on the Snoop Lion album, but yeah, they know how to get Snoop to do certain things. And I think Battle Cat is another person that's not talked about enough when it comes to some of the great producers to get the best out of Snoop. But Fire is an incredible record. Guns and Smoke is crazy. I thought 50 got off. Eminem's verse was incredible. And Snoop had a great verse as well. So all three of those guys came through and killed it. It's definitely one of my top 5 songs on the album. And then we go to Sticky Situation, which is obviously a sample. You heard that song over and over again. Game had a version of it. I think Will I Am had produced that one on the Devil Doc. What's that? Uh, Doctor's Advocate. Game's second album, but there's another version of that song. So that song has been around for a while. That particular beat has been sampled several times, but yeah, I love what Snoop did on it. Like, he went crazy. Even my friend, she was going. She had pointed out that line when Snoop said, "I probably had your auntie on my tour bus," which is a crazy line. I like that whole what's your fantasy ludicrous line. I thought that was crazy. So yeah, Snoop definitely had a lot of great quotables on that song. Now or Never, featuring BJ the Chicago Kid, definitely one of my favorite songs on the album. I listened to that one a lot. I think BJ the Chicago Kid is a great artist, and I think that song is fire, man. It's a really incredible song. And oh, I want to go back to Sticky Situation for a minute. Isaac Hayes helped write that song. So salute to Isaac Hayes, his legacy. I know he's no longer with us, but just wanted to, salute him because he's incredible. He was incredible. Guys like him, um, you know, Barry White, who I have a lot of respect for. I study Barry White. I think Barry White was an incredible composer and incredible artist within his own right. Um, Fire, fire. Also, I did mention on the Guns and Smoke with 50 and Snoop, that particular song had the Biggie sample in there. So I thought that was great, to hear Biggie on some Dr. Dre production as well. And then we get to Gangsta Pose, which is a fire track. Dim Joints, Fat Money, Stallone, incredible. Really, really like that track. And the Negotiator, I thought was a great way to close out the album. 46 minutes. I think this is a good album, man. I think this is a good album. It's not Doggy Style. I mean, but it's still a great album. And I think it's too soon, to throw out classic and all those type of things, because music a lot of times has to grow on you. it can have the opposite effect. Sometimes you can like something a lot, and then some music doesn't age as well. But every time I listen to this album, I like it more and more. I appreciate the performances. I think the music is incredible with Dre and with ICU, Fred Wreck, and them joints. I think those guys did an incredible job on the production, and they took their time on this, and it's mixed very well. um this is fire, man. I love it. I'm gonna react to Fire. The music video finally came out for that, so I'm gonna do a separate video breaking that down. But it's fire, man. I really really enjoy what they're doing, and I think they are definitely showing that even at this age in the game, that they can still go out there and put up 30. It's fire, man. Dre's engineering is crazy. Like Dre, he's always been my favorite producer in the game, but this guy can really, really engineer, man. He can really engineer and really, put his foot off in a project. And even talking about the Martian Brocious album that came out earlier this year, that album is incredible. And then, obviously he had some songs on Eminem's project. So, Dre had a very good year. And I don't think these guys should even wait. I think they should spin the block back around in 2025. I think they should, listen to some of the criticism and just really come back and just pop people in the mouth, man, and just come even harder next year. And, who knows? Maybe they have heard some of the critiques and criticisms, and really take it personal and just really go in the studio and just come up with something really 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 hard. Because I think again, I'm not one of those people. I'm not dumping on this album. I think this album is incredible, and I love the growth, and I love what they've shown. But I do also appreciate anytime that Dre has been counted out and people have doubted him, or some a project doesn't perform as well, that his best always comes after that. I've seen that with Eminem over the years, and people, you know, oh well, you should grow up and you should stop doing the Slim Shady thing, and then he makes Revival with some of the most thought provoking material for him, going back to Infinite. Oh, that's too deep. I don't want to hear woke Eminem. I don't want to hear political Eminem. And then so then he comes back very, very hard on Kamikaze, where he's just snapping and going off. Now you want that back. Oh well, he's too old to do that. So I like how he talked about I think that was on the follow-up album, the one afterward. He talked about haters want to go this way, his fans want to go this way. I got more hooks in me than Sway Lee, because it's like you can't please everybody. People are gonna say you should have went right. When you went right, you should have went left. You go left, you should have went right. So you got to do what's in your heart, because in this age, when everybody's got a microphone, everybody's critiquing stuff, people don't even listen to music really, because we got 50 projects a week coming out and stuff like that. Sometimes some projects just don't even have the attention of people, because people just own to the next thing. But I think this music here is definitely going to stick around. I think they did something incredible. I don't like the numbers though. I don't like the sales that I read online. I mean, we'll get the official numbers tomorrow, but 36,000. This project should be way more than that. So I don't like that, man. But I know for Snoop, a lot of his albums over the years, have not charted well, probably in the last 6 or 7 years. So at this point in his career, he's not making music for numbers. I mean, because if that's the case, he would have stopped. He would have been stopped rapping. He's doing it for the love of what he enjoys doing. I don't think the gospel album performed that well or whatever. So for Snoop, it's not about numbers, but I think Snoop is doing a great job. Keep doing it, man. Don't worry about what people have to say. I think you're doing an incredible job artistically. I love what Dre is doing on the production. I love the choices on here, and in my personal opinion, I think this is a great album. Salute to those guys, man. It took too long, but I'm glad that we got the project finally, and I think they should not wait at all. I think they should come back in 2025 and drop another album, and I even have an idea for what they could title that album. Before we get out of here, those that want to follow me on other social media sites, you can find me on Instagram at I'm in the Hills, Facebook at Terrance Hill, Snapchat at I'm in the Hills, X, formerly known as Twitter, I'm in the Hills, and TikTok, I'm in the Hills as well. Those who want to donate to our efforts over here, the Cash App is I'm in the Hills. Again, the Cash App is I'm in the Hills. And I have two websites. The first one is www.double-E, that's with two E's, doubleetv.com. And lastly, www.terrancehill.com as well. Please follow me on all social media sites and connect with me. I really appreciate you guys tuning into this edition of Terrance Hill TV. Again, presented to you by WTV, which is my production company, over the digital airways of YouTube. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think about this album. What are your favorite songs off of this album? What did you think about the beats? And what did you think about the rapping as well? Please have some original thoughts and have your own opinions. Like me personally, like I don't care. People are entitled to their opinions, but I'm not going to argue with someone as far as like what you like and what you don't like, and vice versa. I saw someone put out their top 10 2024 rap albums of this year. I didn't agree with the list, but that's his opinion. He's entitled to his opinion. I will put out mine, but everybody's entitled to the opinion, man. So nobody's got thin skin to argue over what people like or dislike. But yeah, let me know your thoughts, man. But me personally, I love this album. I co-sign it, man. I think it's fire, and I really appreciate what they did. Lastly, those who want to donate to our efforts over here, the Cash App is I'm in the Hills. Again, the Cash App is I'm in the Hills. Please hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell to be notified when new content is uploaded. Share this content. Check out the community section as well. And I will see you guys tomorrow for another edition of Terrance Hill TV. I'm going to drop my review to Snoop Dogg's music video called Fire. But definitely appreciate you guys for tuning in. Take care. See you next time. Peace.
I'm so high with no edibles. You ask how does it feel? It's incredible. And now I'm standing on my pedestal. Y'all got no morals, y'all unethical. I'm so high with no edibles. You ask how does it feel? It's incredible. And now I'm standing on my pedestal. Y'all got no morals, y'all unethical. I got a baby face, call it